Here in the Peak District, the railways have long played a part in shaping the countryside and the local communities. The first trains arrived in Edale in 1894, and it's no accident that most of the houses in the village were built shortly afterwards. Lines running to Manchester and Sheffield meant that people could commute from the heart of the countryside to the heart of the cities. Today it's still a busy route, but once a month as dusk falls, passengers are treated to a very different experience. On the fourth Tuesday of every month, your ticket for the 1915 train from Sheffield to Edale buys you a lot more than a simple rail journey, because this is the folk train.
I've only been a few times, but I just find it really, really pleasing, actually.
My granddaughter has persuaded me to come this evening to prevent me sliding into senile old age, you know.
It's social. Meet different people, different walks of life.
Folk music events always have a really good atmosphere on them because of the music. It's quite a sociable event every time.
The folk train is organised by Jerry Bates. Jerry, why folk on trains?
I think folk music is accessible to people. People can join in. People can take part without being really proficient. For a thing like this, local people, they can come along and feel part of it.
Are there any other folk trains?
There are others, yes. I think at the same time as we started running this one from Sheffield, another one was started running from Manchester.
What sort of people does folk music attract?
It seemed to be that generation that grew up with me, all of an age, who continue to be interested in folk music. But we've been very glad to see recently that a lot of youngsters are getting involved, and some very, very proficient bands are coming from the universities.
How long has this been going?
I retired 10 years ago, and it was about a year after that I was called to start organising it, because they knew I was interested in trains and in folk music and in beer, so they thought it was ideal for the job.
I was going to say, it's also a great excuse for a good night out.
Oh, it is, and people do say what a great night out it is.
Well, that's the first leg of the journey. The second leg involves the pub and lots more singing. For some of the musicians of tonight's band Crazy Crow, it was their first journey on the folk train.
It's an exciting thing to do, and it brings people on a journey. And I think that's a very important thing to do, to let people have a journey with folk music.
I was very impressed, actually, with the sort of variety of people on board, from young people up to older people.
It does attract all ages, yeah. The folk train is something of magical quality to whatever age takes part on it.
Do you think there's a kind of resurgence in folk music these days?
I think recently people are, you know, wanting to reclaim their roots a bit, and they look back to folk music as being one of those parts of that are very important to them. And roots music and folk music is an important part of our heritage, and I think we should reclaim it. It's a real pilgrimage for people. You know, they can come along to a wonderful place like this and get away from the city, and it's into Edale, and it's just beautiful.
Well, it's clear that these guys are going to be going on well into the night. The folk train is a great local tradition with a growing band of admirers. And what a fantastic excuse for a party.